Hey everyone, welcome to Kinda Creepy. I'm Jason Emmett. I'm Scully Scully.
Twisted Kid Matt.
Well, I don't
I
know
was
what he
not
sounds
expecting a voice for him.
Hello, I'm Scully
like...
Skeleton the Third.
so it's Pee-wee not wanting to get killed in the bar. Yeah, I say we let him go.
I just saw a picture. Apparently, they're doing some. It was of some excavation work at the Alamo, and they'd like dug up a bunch of stuff, like so you could see underneath it. And somebody photoshopped the bike, and it's like strange object found beneath the Alamo
in the basement.
That was pretty brilliant. So this week we're going to try to redo a video that we did a while back. We changed a lot as far as what we were doing with new computers, all kinds of stuff. So to get rid of some of the technical glitches, and we'd recorded a Bigfoot video a month or two ago, and we're gonna give our thoughts on it. Yeah, it's been a minute. We're gonna give our thoughts on it because this one was kind of making the rounds, and then we're going to discuss one more kind of story that's making the rounds, and that one we want to give thanks to one of our viewers, Anthony. Anthony is a what do we say, strong viewer? I don't know.
Yeah,
very
frequent contributor.
Yeah, frequent. That's what I was looking for. Frequent contributor to the show.
Strong viewer works as well. It sounds very Russian. Very strong viewer. Yes,
very strong viewer.
Strong viewer.
He has sent us videos in the past, and we really appreciate all of it.
Sent the bike video at one point.
Yeah,
for like the backyard ring camera thing.
We played that one on the show, and we want to address the story that he sent over. It's very,
we started talking about it before we started recording. I was like, we need to do this one on the show. This seems really bizarre
and it is and cool. But we're gonna do what we do here on this show. So we're gonna start though with this Bigfoot video that's been kind of making the rounds, and I kind of found it, and I had Matt watch it, and before I said anything, because I wanted to get just honest opinions. We both have our opinions, but we'll let them be known here on the show. So let's go ahead and play the actual footage first, and then we will discuss our thoughts.
Huh? What's over there? Where? There's somebody over there.
Where? Where you're about to come in?
They ain't supposed to be in our woods.
They move, right?
Who is that? Do you see him? What is that?
I just want to comment.
I do too.
What is the guy in clearly Gimlin? Maybe
let's go up here and we'll turn around. All right,
we're gonna turn around. And we've got some breakdowns for this.
Pointed out by the child who says, "What is that?" And then we get them following it. At the end of the video, they sort of back the truck away. It's just sort of all that we get. To me, okay, we'll show the slowed down version, and then walks conveniently out of the frame of the camera. And amazingly, the camera never tries to follow it. They just stop. And there we go, right behind a tree. And that's the end of it. We're not going to turn the camera anymore to see if we can keep filming it. Watch, it goes behind a big tree, and they just sort of give up on it.
Yeah. It's the most casual, laid-back Sasquatch.
Yeah. Huh?
So, all right.
Huh? Like you didn't clearly hear your child the first time.
We both watched this. I saw this. This was kind of making its rounds for a few minutes as a video, and I watched it, and it was instantly like, nope.
Who is that?
Nope. Like, I'm sorry. We've watched lots of Bigfoot video on this show. Yeah. We had a lot of them that we feel are legit. We did a whole thing about the Patterson Gimlin film.
Oh, I don't have that thrown up on.
It's okay. Yeah. I just know people get angry because
it will be later on. As of this recording, Bob Gimlin is still alive.
I read that he'd passed away, and I said that, and people lost their minds.
Yeah, they did.
Well, we've talked about all this so many times, but this one, I don't buy it. And I'll tell you why in a minute, but first I want to know if Matt buys it. I saw him shaking his head.
No, I absolutely do not.
He
And
does
I
not
have
buy it.
multiple reasons for it, for why I
So
don't buy it.
me too. And my first reasoning is the acting is horrible.
It's terrible. Yeah.
It's really bad. But my second, it's this little kid's like, what is that over there? And we see zero movement until that time. Like to me, it just felt
they were
really
waiting for an
fantastic.
audio cue of a small child to go and action.
Yeah.
What's that over there?
See, like, where is it?
Where?
Nothing's moving. How does this kid even see it?
Yeah.
They ain't
And then
supposed to be in the
conveniently, it will
woods.
start walking right.
There it is.
It's just standing there the
Like,
whole
just-
time.
Do you see
Don't
him?
get me wrong, it's all the
Hey,
time.
They're
Bigfoot.
sitting there going, "Hey, Ricky, you want me to go now?
What is
How about
that?
now? No.
When
Hold
Bigfoot
on.
think they've
Okay,
been
no.
spotted, they're notorious for moving. But why
Yeah.
would this one think it's been spotted? That's number one problem.
Yeah.
Number two, one of my biggest issues, like I said, the camera follows it
Hey,
to a
let's
certain
go up here.
point
We'll
when
turn
it
around,
vanishes
all right?
behind a tree. They don't try to turn and follow it anymore. They don't keep. Who would do that? If I'm filming it, why would I not keep rotating the camera, panning it with the thing till I just couldn't see it anymore? I would. And then my biggest problem is the still image here. I try to do a still to show it. It doesn't come across as well because of the motion blur and a still image, but it doesn't look like a Bigfoot. It looks like a dude in a suit.
Yeah. Just
to me, it
casually
looks like
walking through the woods.
it doesn't look like a ghillie suit because it's not really draped that way. Yeah, that's the other thing, Matt. It doesn't move like we've seen Bigfoot move. It just
Yeah.
looks like somebody walking a specified path through the woods. So
Yeah.
I personally don't think this is legit at all. This one feels very faked to me.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts, Matt.
So, as somebody who has been around people who own private property,
Matt, as somebody who was out there and faked the video
Yeah.
myself,
as the guy in the suit myself,
didn't.
I know this is 100% fake. Yeah. What's that? That Bob Hieronymus guy? Like, I'm the guy in the suit. No,
I'm the
you
guy.
wanted some Bob notoriety, is what you wanted. So, no, as somebody who's been around people with their own private property, they don't take too kindly to other people on their property. So, if this was a creature, nothing you can do about it. It's just there. If this is a person in a suit and they're on your property, there's a lot you can do about it. And this guy doesn't. Instead, he goes, "What are they doing on our land?" That's not how you would react if somebody was on your property that shouldn't be there. You would be
They're not
yelling, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And even if it, if
You
it's a Bigfoot,
Get
it
your
would,
damn ass off my property. Sorry.
yeah. It's like what this person's probably doing if they are on his property and they're not supposed to be, they're probably poaching. And in that case, the guy who owns the property would not be reacting as, "What are they doing out here?" They would be driving over to that person and, causing some kind of issue with them, we'll say. I don't know exactly what they would do, but chasing them off the property would be probably the first thing that they would do.
Well, I don't entirely
so-
agree with everything you just said. I think it would be weird if they'd just be out there making eggs. But aside from that, I think that, yeah, I think you make a good point. It's very like he's not supposed to be there. Like it just comes off like just way too.
Yeah.
It's just way too planned out.
Yeah.
Even the path this thing walks, it feels like see, you said they're waiting for an audio cue. I don't think so. I think it's almost like, okay, like, all right, they yelled it before they hit record. Like, okay, count to like 30.
Yeah.
Because he stands very still, and then also he's like, he's over there like,
Yeah.
"Oh my
Because
God, go."
okay, theoretically, and the truck has already stopped when the video starts, right? So theoretically,
why are they just in
they've
the truck?
driven up and they're sitting there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. If there was something in the woods, it would have moved as soon as it heard that truck and you wouldn't be seeing it, most likely. If they were just walking through the woods, walking is a lot quieter than what this dude probably driving some big diesel
walking through the
4x4
woods-
truck.
If you're a Sasquatch and you're in the woods, you're going to hear things moving through the woods all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like, so that wouldn't throw you as much. I think
hearing
if
a
there's
truck, yeah.
Sasquatch out there, what I think usually alerts them. See, there's a reason why most Sasquatch videos I feel like are from a distance. It's because if you were close up, I think there'd be things like scent
Yeah.
and other things that would alert them. So it's harder to see them close up. That's why I think when we see close up videos, they're usually of them standing still, hiding behind stuff
Yeah.
when possible. And then most of the videos of a movement are from a distance.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually
If
one
you-
that we did as a short early on when we first launched this channel that I would like to actually talk
Viral?
about.
with the baby.
No, we've
Oh.
talked about that. This is it's like just like between two, like a fork in a tree. There's like a
Oh yeah, real
Yeah.
famous.
I'd like to talk
I
about
forget the
that one.
guy's
at some
name. I
point in
know his
time.
name. I was just talking about how I forget things all the time, but that guy claims that the one guy claims that he can go out and film them at any time, and apparently he's even taken celebrities out there, but he won't tell just anybody.
Oh, it's that
because
guy.
he
Yeah, I've heard the story actually.
I think so.
Yeah.
If it's what I think you're talking about, and it's because he says it's out of respect, but he can prove it. He claims to anyone. When you watch this as the video, like the actual movement, though, to me, it's just clearly somebody in this. It just looks like somebody walking.
And
in a
I'll
suit.
play that again.
Yeah. Huh? Where?
Watch towards the very end, right
What's
before it goes
over
by.
there? They ain't supposed to be in our woods.
Look, and perfectly still, and counts to 16.
Perfectly centered in the frame when he can't see what it
You
is.
see him?
He just happens to know where to film.
And, like, watch right towards the end before it goes behind the big. Also, no arm sway like they usually would have. What we
It's
see.
just-
No, the steps start very large, but to me, right towards the end, it just clearly looks like a suit. There,
Yeah.
boom, when it moves in between those two trees and the light hits it,
Hey,
it looks
let's go
like a
up here and we'll
camouflage.
turn around,
Yeah.
all right?
And it doesn't have the shoulders aren't massive like you would typically see.
Yeah.
So watch right again, and we're gonna see right when it gets in between those. There's like trees that frame it almost perfect, and the light hits it.
Yeah.
And look at the shoulders; they're just not massive like compared to the head. The head's not very large. It's just, to me, it just doesn't.
Yeah. So
Boom,
right
there.
Yeah.
So I don't buy it,
If I
but
could
we
figure out how
there,
to-
that
how
was
to-
it. That was it.
If I could figure out how to pause the video, I would
watch
definitely do that,
again,
but,
right
yeah.
right towards the very end, man. It's hit by the light almost perfectly, like sunlight breaks through, and you see. Watch, it'll turn, and it's
Right there.
boom.
Yeah.
I see.
And
I
it's
see
like
the.
that
I see the rainbow in the
uniform,
Yeah.
like almost grayish
Huh?
color that the camouflage
Huh?
gives you.
Where?
to me what looks like pants. Like it just looks like clothing to me. I don't even think it's
They ain't supposed
But yeah, those are just our thoughts. We welcome all of your guys'. Let us know if you've seen this video. If this is the first time you watched it, let us know if you think this is bogus or if you think it's real or I don't know. I don't buy it, but
I think it's a dude who took his kids into the woods and was like, I'm not telling my kids anything, but they're going to notice something when we get where we're at because it's going to be out of place.
maybe.
But I know what it is. It's Ricky out in the woods, and I'm just sticking with Ricky. It's my dad's name.
I got that, yeah. Oh, Ricky, what's up?
Oh, Ricky.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this was staged.
It was a fun little day trip to entertain his children. They put some creepy music under it, posted it, and were like, look, Sasquatch was on our property.
Here's the
like-
thing: people keep. Why would you want to stage this stuff? Well, sometimes people just do it to be silly, and then it starts getting a lot of views. Or sometimes you just want a lot of views.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect segue into the next thing we want to talk about. I feel like, because I didn't really think about that till I said it, but. So Anthony sends me this TikTok story, and I go over check it out, and it's creepy. It is a cool, creepy, fun tale, which would fit perfect on this show, especially when we were doing those spooky, scary time stuff. We don't really do much anymore, but
this could kind of fall under that. But yeah,
I'm going to give you like the basic breakdown of the story, but it's going to differ depending on which version you heard. That's the first thing we're going to mention.
Yeah.
So the story is it's very, to me, it's very creepypasta stuff. It's you
that
brought
was what I was trying. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at when we were talking off camera. I was like, this seems like something like Slenderman. It was just something that kind of came
Yeah,
out of
very
nowhere,
much.
and then suddenly everybody's like, "Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it." It's like, have you? Like,
So
there's definite like evidence tracing to a specific source of where Slenderman came from. So when you get something like that, where you can actually like it's born of the internet and people trying to just be storytellers, which is fine. There is nothing wrong with being a storyteller.
the creepypastas never claim to be real stuff.
Yeah,
They are stories. That's the thing
yeah.
about creepypasta.
It's with specifically the case of like Slenderman. It's when people take it way too seriously, and specifically in the case of Slenderman, people get hurt.
Yeah,
I think there
that
was
did happen.
was she just injured, or I can't remember if she
No,
survived, or
I thought they killed her,
I think it might have. Yeah, I can't
but
remember.
I can't remember either. It's been years.
Yeah. Editing Matt from the future here. She survived. She's alive. Just want to avoid any potential Bob Gimlin type situation. Yeah, she's alive. She survived the stabbing. But yeah, I mean that was just like, yeah, those kids they took what is legitimately just an internet story and then got it in their head that it was 100% real and they needed to worship Slenderman and did a whole thing. And that's just kind of where we kind of come into this story that we're talking about here is like, how true is it? Like, a lot of these things can be based in a real thing that happened and then just elaborated on, and
Maybe.
that's where it kind of becomes a little
We didn't
confused. Yeah,
we dove about
about
2
30
minutes in,
seconds. Yeah,
and it didn't take us long to figure stuff out. So we didn't go real deep to find out if there was any kind of core of anything beneath it.
Yeah.
But basically, sends over this video, and it's talking about the Clark family. The video that we watched said it was from 1985. That quickly changed when I went and looked.
Yeah.
2023 and I think 1999.
1999. Yeah,
So the
2022.
year is all over the place, first and foremost. But the story went that we watched. Police were called to a house because the Clark family had kind of turned up missing. They get out to this house. They can't find anybody, but to make things even more weird, there's no record of the house even supposing to be there at all. They go out in the backyard. They find this giant concrete cube. They can't explain it. Doesn't make sense. Then they go in the house. I think in the version we watched, it was a little girl, Alice or something like that. They find a letter where she said the dimensions are off, but Daddy says we'll fit. That's the version we watched. The basic same version, just a few details changed here and there depending on which version you come across. But I guess the most famous one is the Clark family and a little boy. And from 1999, right? We have,
yeah,
yeah,
we got photos.
And it wasn't
Photos alleged. We're gonna. All of this is alleged, and we can do a little bit more research and update.
Apparently, none of this is true. Apparently, all these photos have been proven AI generated. They're not even real. So, but they look legit. So, the Clark family, 1999. The version that we read that was like the origin version has this family in these pictures, but apparently they're not even real. But these three people, the cops go out. They end up finding a cube in the yard, but I guess in this one it's a brick cube, not a concrete cube, and the people are allegedly inside of it. So, Daddy boxed them all in it and killed them. Why? I don't know. We didn't get that in depth.
With
what I want
himself, apparently.
Yeah,
too.
with himself in the cube as well.
Yeah.
You can see this is the diagram of how he supposedly fit them all.
An artist's rendering, if you will.
Inside said cube that was found in the yard. Apparently, like I said, these are all AI generated. This is another make-believe story. It makes for really creepy, fun stuff. You know what's cool, though? We talk about this, and we talk about how things like creepypasta and things like that have, and there's a different version of the Clark family. So you can see there's multiple out there. This story has been spread all over the internet.
Yep.
What makes this cool, though, is this is just the modern
version.
version.
Side by side, right there a little bit.
This is the modern version of urban legends.
Yeah.
This has been happening since before the internet ever existed, with people telling the story of the hook hand man, the story of, well, it's true. Like, oh no, at
Yeah.
prom night, and oh, humans lick too. The dog under the bed, and the girl putting her hand down.
The
And
pop
as far
rocks
as
and the Coke, all of that.
right, even as a child, I remember people
Drying a dog in the microwave.
telling me these stories were true, and they knew somebody had happened to. The dog in the microwave, I believe, actually was attempted. It didn't explode, but it did kill the dog. I think that is actually
Yeah.
was proven to be somewhat true story.
Yeah, which
And
is,
like Matt
we go
said,
back to things having basis in truth.
grain of truth. It comes, like Matt pointed that out. All these have a small grain of truth, or something that somebody heard that spurs on the urban legend. And sure as no matter whatever happens, there's still going to be one person that says what I just said. Well, no, that's true. No, I'm not saying the dog in the microwave story was completely true.
Yeah.
I'm saying I believe there was a story that it was based off of, where a woman did in fact try to put her dog in the microwave and it killed it.
Yeah.
Rightly so. Don't put your dog in the microwave, guys.
Yeah, don't do it. It doesn't work. Towels are a good way to dry your dog. Blow dryers. There's
what's
various
funny?
other ways to dry a dog. Microwave, no.
You said Pop Rocks and Coke, and it was supposed to be the kid from Life Cereal, Mikey,
Yeah.
that did it.
He likes it.
And that, I don't know if you know this, but that story became so big and it was affecting things so like massively that Life Cereal released a newspaper ad with the grown-up Mikey in it, and he was saying like, I'm still very much alive. It still didn't change things.
Yeah.
The story
Like,
still
that's not
continued.
the real
to grow.
Mikey. It just kind of goes back to like how much have we been lied to about over time that we just don't trust the truth anymore.
It's storytelling. I mean, the Mythbusters tried.
Yeah.
They tried, and they proved it couldn't. It doesn't. It's just not enough. There's no way, and they did a ton. But I'll give you another one. A really, and this one's kind of makes it interesting to what you said about Slenderman, is the Bunny Man Bridge. I mean, the story is that they were moving a group of inmates from a insane asylum. One of them breaks free, goes out in the woods. They can't find him. They find a bunch of bunny corpses near this bridge, and then he
Like
sort
you
of
do.
moves under this bridge, and then the Bunny Man Bridge is a very much a real bridge. You can go out there today, and people have in fact been chased off by a person wearing a bunny costume. However, if the story were true about the insane asylum and the patient escaping, it would have been dead a long time ago. Number one. Number two, there's absolutely zero record of an asylum being anywhere near this place or any patients ever being moved. The people being chased off by a person in a rabbit costume is probably a couple dudes going like let's go out there and hang out and chase people who come out here on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. Yeah.
I'm
So
getting
this
an
is where
idea,
this-
by the way. I think we should do an entire just urban legend episode.
Urban legends, that would be great.
That'd be fun. We just pick one and discuss it.
But what's happened, Matt, is the story of Bunny Man Bridge became so big over time that it starts being believed, and people start going out there, and then they start actually seeing things. Now, what those things are they real?
Yeah.
Are they just seeing things? Are they people just playing jokes on them? I don't know. We've talked about that before too.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to see these urban legends kind of create and get spread around. And we don't mean to be the guys that just poo-poo everything.
Like, we really don't. Like, again, we've talked about it many times before. We're skeptical believers. We want to believe that some of this stuff is real, but some of it's just so outlandish that you're just like,
this story.
how does anybody believe it? Like, this is creepy. Like, genuinely creepy. The fact that this family goes missing, and then they go to look into it, and they find the family, and there's this weird cryptic note left behind.
Perfect urban legend story.
And it's like, but then it raises so many more questions. Like, how did they get inside the box? All of
it is so plausible.
Yeah.
And has just the right elements of mystery and just a hint, just a smidge of paranormal sprinkled on top, so that you're going, ooh, like I could see people, and there's so much truth and reality of people doing weird shit just like this that you want to believe it. I'm curious if, like you said, there is some basis to where this story got started, or was some dude just like, I'm going to create this story. because we know that's happened. There was, oh God, I can't remember, but years ago there was a guy who created a fake story and like a website and everything just to see how, like, if it would spread. I wish I could remember the full, and it just, and it did. So what was the one about the cave that became very famous? I think it's creepypasta, like Ben's Cave or something like that.
Oh,
Brad's Cave,
I think I
something
know what you're
like
talking about. Like the guy went out to a cave and like had told people he was going there, and then he was just never heard from again.
I don't know, something, but
Possibly,
it
but
it's just a point of how spread can you how spread can a story become nowadays?
yeah.
But it's funny because I brought up Buddy Man Bridge. I brought up the guy with the hook hand and
Mhm.
Humans Lick 2. We've been hearing those stories our entire life, and we didn't have internet, not readily available in homes till 1996 or so, 20 years after I
Yeah.
was born.
I don't know, like when the movie came out.
What urban legend? That
Yeah,
was probably right around that time,
yeah.
95, 96 ish. But I'm saying though, these stories have always existed and persisted, and you'll hear slight changes in every version because it gets told from one person
Yeah.
to another, and somebody adds that next creepy vibe. It's the ones that don't change much that really, like when you think about games like Bloody Mary, we've all heard the same basic
Hmm.
versions of it our entire life. And it's those are the ones that always get me like,
And I'm not gonna lie, like I 100% know that Candyman is just a movie, but
you won't say it.
every now and then, hell no, I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to risk that shit.
Dude, it's Tony Todd, and
It's
he
to
was awesome.
Yeah. If we could bring Tony Todd back by just saying Candyman 5 times in the mirror, I'd do it. He's a great guy. I've met him personally. He's a very nice guy.
He
I
was, yeah.
brought him a
He's
pizza.
passed away.
Was a
He's
very
passed
nice
away
guy.
now.
Yes. Um,
You did bring him a
unlike
pizza.
Bob
He was
Gimlin,
great. He has
Tony Todd is not
unfortunately passed
alive. Yeah.
away. He filmed his scene for the blood
Yeah. Urban. What's it
not
called?
urban legend. I know. Again, everybody's screaming at us at home. This is what I mean by the old guy
The
thing.
movie with the thing where everybody dies. Final
Final
Destination.
Destination Bloodlines,
Bloodlines. Yeah.
which looks interesting to
Yeah.
me.
He's in
First
it.
Final Destination is a great movie. They kind
Yeah.
of after that, I was like, it got a little.
The concept of this one is really interesting. It like
It is
goes.
interesting.
It kind of goes back to the first person that kind of kicked off the whole thing, and like basically,
Not really. That was Devon Sawa.
no, apparently like he's
I know.
related to this first person that
That's
this
a
movie's
cool
about.
concept. If
Yeah.
that's what they do. Yeah,
That
I like that idea.
that death is taking out all of their relatives because they dodged it and they were never supposed to exist in the first
So
place. And that's all in the trailer for the record. That's not a spoiler. It's all in
yeah,
the trailer.
yeah. So this brings up something we did a couple weeks ago, and I might start doing here on the show right right as we end each episode. Matt and I might start doing this where we watch a lot of horror movies. We're big horror movie buffs, so we might like start telling you guys like what we recommend and what we don't. Again, this is just personal stuff, but I think we both saw Sinners,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah,
cannot
we did.
recommend it enough.
Holy crap. Fantastic
I
movie.
can't.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and it has just that edge of From Dusk Till Dawn, which everybody knows is one of my favorites.
It's got
Two
elements
thirds
of
of
the
the
thing in it.
if you're watching this show, I actually know a few people that don't know what Sinners is about at all. If you don't want to know, just don't watch any more of this. But I think most people know that it's about vampires, sort of. But 2/3 of the movie, there's only one vampire scene anywhere in it, but the story's so good it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get to the vampires, it's like, oh, everything, it's fun.
Like this is just cool now. Yeah.
Sinners is great.
The
And I
soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
So
wonderful. If
good.
you like, especially if you like blues and yeah, it's really good. It's
And
really amazing.
Connie and I, it's gonna sound weird. We listen to a lot of Irish music.
There's a lot of that, and
It's got my new favorite version of the Rocky Road to Dublin is in it.
so funny. My
Like,
sister's like, I
so
know every
good.
little word to that song. Um, so
It's great.
we both recommend Sinners. I watched Little Bites. I won't say a whole lot about it. It's on Shudder if you want to check it out. I've been hearing about it. I think the movie. I think I could be wrong. I think it is talking about addiction, but it didn't really land with me. It's creepy. It's got a creepy vibe, but I didn't really. I guess in the end, I was just left a little like scratching my head. It wasn't bad. I don't know that I would say it was good. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to feel like I did, I think. And then I watched The Woman in the Yard, and I'd heard it was really boring, and I'm gonna have to second that. And I don't usually do that. The only time I really just dislike a movie is if I'm bored. Even bad movies I like. If you liked it, cool. I just couldn't get into it, man. It just really wasn't my thing. It was so slow and nothing was happening. I just couldn't get into it. Have you watched any good horror flicks in the last week or so besides Sinners? I know you saw.
I'm kind of binge watching the Goldbergs right now, actually.
That's fair.
It's so good. I'm like, I think I just finished season 4 the other day.
The last 2 seasons aren't as
10,
good, man,
yeah.
but you know.
Yeah, we've
they're
been
still
been talking off and on about the Goldbergs, but yeah, I watched like at least 5 episodes.
I watched it. I watched it as it was actually on, and I've talked about it for years. So, it's such a great show.
Yeah,
it's so much fun, especially when it feels like so many things taken directly out of my childhood. Like I was Adam Goldberg. It's just bizarre. So, well, guys, if you have anything you would like us to talk about, you absolutely can send it to us. The easiest way is via email, obviously, which is KindaCreepyShow@gmail.com. We don't get a lot of email. So that's fine. Actually, where we get most of our feedback is through Facebook. And you can do that because we are on Facebook. We are on Facebook. We have a Facebook group over there. And honestly, when stuff gets posted, it's a lot of fun. We post creepy videos. We post a lot of like silly stuff like and events like cryptid events and Bigfoot events and stuff like that.
And stay tuned. I'm gonna be putting all the pictures that I took from the Bigfoot search together into a video, and I'll put it up there as well. So
we also post weird things like that you can buy, like cat houses that look like coffins, just really weird stuff, but it's just fun. We are on there.
I've been banned from buying one for my cat just because
I want one. They're so cool.
Yeah.
We are on Instagram, and of course we're on Bluesky occasionally, and then this is our home here on YouTube. So please hit the subscribe button before you leave today. That would be great. I think that's all we got. Let us know if you what you thought of the Bigfoot video. Let us know if you've heard about the Fark Clamley. I almost said the Fark Clamley. The Clark family, I'm just losing it. The Clark family cube story.
Oh, I don't have the stroke sounder queued up.
If you'd heard about it, and if you what you think about it, please let us know. And thanks for joining us.
Alive.
He is, as of the recording of this show. Guys, thanks so much for watching. We always appreciate it. And until we talk to you next time, remember, keep it creepy. Wow.
This is kind of creepy. Goosebumps rising up my spine. This is kind of creepy. Chills and thrills. The night is mine.
Clark Clamley.